You can hear his style and just the minimalist, but very thoughtful playing. You know what I mean?
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Accolades conversation series, in which I talk to some of my favorite artists about who or what they would recommend me checking out. Make sure to subscribe to our channel or hit the like button. dstyles is a hip-hop producer and DJ. He has been a member of Invisible Scratch Pickles, Beat Junkies, and Third Side. He has also been a resident DJ of Low End Theory. dstyles is an instructor at the Beat Junkies Institute of Sound. In 2002, dstyles released his first studio album, Phantasmagoria, on Beat Junkie Sound. It was described by Fact as the perfect evolution of hip-hop sample addiction, an album made entirely of samples manipulated by the human hand and overseen by a human brain. I spoke to dstyles about Bill Evans, an American pianist and composer who worked primarily as the leader of his trio. His use of the impressionist harmony, interpretation of traditional jazz repertoire, block chords, and trademark rhythmically independent singing melodic lines continues to influence jazz pianists today. If you are into my illustrations, this series started as an illustration book which you can still get on craterecords.be. This is what dstyles had to add.
The person I want to give accolades to is jazz pianist Bill Evans. So I discovered Bill Evans through listening to Miles Davis from the album Kind of Blue. On that album, Kind of Blue, there's some awesome players on there: Coltrane, Cannonball Adderley, Miles Davis, of course. But I heard Bill Evans on there, and his style of playing piano really resonated with me. It was the total opposite of what everyone was doing for that era, especially during this sort of hard bop kind of era, where everyone's playing furious, playing crazy amounts of notes fast. You know what I mean? Very chaotic at times. Bill Evans went against the grain and played minimal. He played less notes. He really focused on the silence between playing notes, left huge chunks of silence, just the whole less is more kind of style. And that really stood out to me, and even until today, that's sort of something that I borrowed and I've tried to incorporate into my own style of scratch music and scratch soloing.
Started listening to jazz at some age?
Yeah, I got into jazz when I started going to college. I took a few jazz appreciation classes, and that led me down this rabbit hole of finding different musicians. And I've always found that there's so many parallels between jazz and scratching. You know what I mean? And just especially for scratchers, we don't know notes and we don't know traditional melodies that other musicians use. So we play very by the ear. And we play spontaneous, you know what I mean? And that's a lot of the jazz spirit right there. So, like listening to jazz, I get influenced, I get inspired. It definitely helps me create, music as well.
It's such a difficult genre to find your way into and discover what you like and what you don't like. How did that work for you?
For me, a lot of the jazz I listen to is 1960s on up kind of ballads. A lot of the stuff Coltrane did, Miles did. And I don't know, there's something about the ballads, just them pouring out their heart and them playing with raw emotion and just the tempo. Everything is really slow, really ultra slow. And you can really hear they're playing and they're really stretching out. Yeah, I mean, if there's one album that I would definitely recommend, it's got to be Kind of Blue, just because on there, the personnel on that is just incredible. All the players on there.
When it comes to Bill Evans, the song that convinced you to give him accolades and another jazz player?
There's definitely two songs. You got to listen to Blue and Green, start there, and then listen to Flamenco Sketches. Those are the two Mount Rushmore type of pieces right there. Very iconic. And then also listen to Peace by Bill Evans. You can hear his style and just the minimalist, but very thoughtful playing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I would start with those two songs right there. For some reason, I always come back to jazz. If I'm just at home and I just want to listen to music, I tend to play jazz. You know what I mean? If I'm driving around in the car, usually it's jazz that I'm listening to, jazz or reggae.
That's something that I heard before in these interviews. A lot of people go to dub reggae for easy listening.
Yeah. You know, you can just kind of space out and also think clearly as well when you listen to it. I think mainly that's why I listen to jazz, is for inspiration and ideas, but also because I just love the songs, the compositions.
Where you come from, is that something you guys talk about, or is that like one of the genres that is strictly you that is like very into it?
You know, I mean, there's only a few DJs that I know of that kind of look at jazz for inspiration. Myself and DJ Cuber, we always talk about jazz and, oh, have you heard this song? And have you heard what blah blah, you know, so and so does on this? You got to listen to what he does. You know, everything is in a 7/8 time, or you know what I mean, or just listen to his style. He's doing double time, half time. Yeah, so we started a Beat Junkies DJ school in Los Angeles, California. But we also have an online school, and that's where I mainly teach online. I teach scratching online to students all around the world.
I want to thank dstyles for this conversation. On next week's episode, I'm talking to comedian and actor Will Hines about the 80s movie Teen Wolf. Thanks for listening, watching, or however you check out Accolades. I appreciate the thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our program. See you next week.